Lawrence Taylor, the NFL great, arguably the greatest football player of all time in some people's minds, and Otis Anderson, their rugged running back from that era, they went on stage with Donald Trump in New Jersey over the weekend, and I think it's pretty significant. Let's watch LT endorse Trump.
I just want to say, I grew up a Democrat, and I've always been a Democrat until I met this man right here. I'll tell you what. He will not have to worry about nobody in my family ever vote for a Democrat again, okay?
Don't you just love that guy? Don't you just love that guy? I tell you, it has been a very exciting day. You guys, not one person left here. You're still here yelling and screaming. So my word is, Wildwood, are you in the house? Now, I can't hear you. Wildwood, are you in the house? Thank you guys for all your support. And how about a great shout out for Metro Exhibits, baby. We made it all happen. All because of you. Thank you.
Wow.
Great. So I think this is significant, far more significant than any rapper endorsing Trump. And I say that because LT is revered in football circles. And basically him publicly jumping on board with LT gives permission for every other NFL player and football player to say what they really think. And all this woke posturing and pretending like they hate Donald Trump. I've said it for years. Any NFL player that I've known, any football player I know, if Joe Biden and Donald Trump said, hey, man, let's go out and have a drink, I know who every football player I know would be like, yeah, Donald, where are we meeting at? And they would stay the hell away from Joe Biden. I think this is significant. Am I overestimating this, Steve?
Well, first of all, sorry, got tears in my slanted eyes. When I see Americans coming together, it just really chokes me up, man. I just really, it's a beautiful moment. And LT for DJT. All right. And by the way, I want to say something about Otis Anderson, one of the great forefathers of the U, one of the great Miami Hurricanes of all time that really didn't come in the great times, but without him, there is no U. And I am endorsing Otis Anderson for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That Super Bowl should have got him in. Put him in Canton, folks. I endorse him for a gold jacket. But yeah, there's no doubt about it. And Jason, I'm already seeing the backlash from Lawrence Taylor, whose football legacy is almost unmatched. You can make an argument he's probably the greatest defensive player ever. And I think most lists, if you put him in the top 10, it better be a lot closer to the top 3 than 8, 9, or 10. Let's just put it that way, okay? But it was so funny for years. It was okay, his indiscretions, and we know what they are. I'm not here to relitigate them. No one is perfect. He's allowed to sin. God bless the man. I hope he is living a good, clean, happy life. Now, all of a sudden, the same people that were overlooking it or excusing it are now trying to indict him, saying, oh, he's a this, he's a that. And I'm like, wait a minute. All because he has a differing opinion politically. But I think it says something here. You have 2 older NFL veterans that are black, that are just everyday Americans now. They're not celebrities anymore every day. They don't get the benefits they did maybe back in the 80s and 90s when they were active participants and celebrityhood actually was something that they benefited from. They see the impact of what is going on to everyday Americans, which they are, and the communities that they are a part of, and they're thinking, wait a minute, you know what? I'm going to do what's right for me and everyday red-blooded Americans who are true patriots. I give them a lot of credit because I think they understand there's going to be a part of the community that is now going to be staunchly against them, and I'm already hearing the name calling.
So you got LT jumping on board with Trump.
Yeah.
And you have someone who would be the basketball equivalent of LT, although LT a better football player and all-time great, but LT outspoken, unpredictable, doesn't give a rip. Charles Barkley is bending over backwards to say he hates Donald Trump. And I'm just wondering if this opens the door for someone like a Barkley to say what he actually really thinks, because you will never convince me that Charles Barkley has an authentic problem with Donald Trump. They're the same guy.
You know, I read Charles Barkley's book a few months ago that came out about 20 years ago, and the foreword was written by Michael Wilbon. And I'm sure you know who he is. You probably know him. And the foreword basically said, and I think I sent you the screenshot of it. I took a picture that, you know, if Charles Barkley were to run, it'd probably be as a Republican. I mean, he used to have really conservative views, but now he has to camouflage and basically hide them. Jason, I knew once he did that show on CNN with Gayle King, they had gotten him. He had been wrangled. He had been brought in. But if you look at a lot of the comments that Sir Charles has made, I remember
Hold for 1 second, Steve. Hold for 1 second, Steve. I got to cut you off. Did you just say Charles Barkley's been Negro wrangled? Is that what you just said?
Well, I didn't. Did I say that? No. I think you said it. You're inferring it. I'm just giving my opinion as a crouching tiger. That's just it, you know? Anyway, well, here's the thing. He actually said, I think it was over the riots in Springfield, Missouri, over Michael Brown. And he got into a lot of trouble, and I just wonder if this kind of scared him off. But he said, well, what do you think about those people, the uprising? He said, you mean those looters are all scumbags? He said that. He said they're flat out scumbags. And in fact, what was funny is, in that, I think it was 2014, Jason, that was when Don Lemon was hated by the black community because he was on the front lines reporting it. And one of the famous lines ever, Don Lemon's the man on the scene. Yes, here. There's a strong sniff of marijuana, or everyone got on his butt. It was like an episode of Boondocks. And from that point on, this is when the mob mentality of social media took over. And I believe both Don Lemon and Charles Barkley felt the pressure, whether it was external or internal, to more or less get in line. And I have to give Lawrence Taylor a lot of credit, along with Otis O.J. Anderson. They are stepping out of line and into the front line. Because think about it. It's one thing to give a tweet saying, you know what, I'm going to vote with my heart. I like Trump. That right there is an act of courage. But to get up there in front of a rally, which you know is going to be nationally televised, and especially because it's LT, this moment's going to go viral. You know now there's no hiding it. And for him to just say, hey, man, I love this guy. And I'm thinking to myself, Lawrence, my God, I thought you were great at ripping the ball, stripping it, blitzing. You got a set of brass ones that I didn't even think you had. God bless you, LT. You're a great American.
So I didn't prepare you for this question, but take 2 seconds. If you had to predict who might be the next black NFL great or next NBA great who might jump on the Trump train, if we had to have betting odds in Las Vegas, who's the next Negro to be unwrangled, in your opinion, Steve? That's my question. There you go.
You know, okay, I'm going to think about it. Okay, I got it. I know the guy I want to, and I think he might, and in the deepest recesses of his mind, I think he already leans that way. You know who it is. The greatest of all time, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Let's go back to that campaign in North Carolina that involved Jesse Helms, right? And his mom wanted to say, hey, he's a black guy. And he said, no. I don't know anything about him. I mean, Republicans buy shoes too. And now that Donald Trump
he didn't say that, but people say he says that.
Okay, well, Donald
He didn't
Trump
actually say that, but people say he said it.
Well, let's pretend he did say it. But
Yep.
Donald Trump actually has his own line of footwear. They're kind of like colleagues. And if you look at Michael Jordan, he doesn't like rap music. That's actually something that bothers a lot of people. He's not a big hip hop fan. Okay. You look
Who's
at
not
the
a big
way
hip hop fan? Oh, Michael Jordan. Yeah.
He's not. No,
Yeah.
he really isn't. I remember there was this famous story where a rapper wanted to take a picture with him, and he's like, "No, I hate this." And so then he was forced to give a sponsorship to some rapper no one heard of. It was a big thing. But Jordan, to me, if you look at the way he conducts himself, you look at the things that he has done, I don't look at him as hyper liberal at all.
I agree. Harvey Gantt is the guy, the black guy
Yes.
that was running
Yes.
against Jesse Helms or whomever it was that Michael stayed out of. So, hey, guys, I want you guys watching, listening, hop in the comments. And is Steve right? Could Michael Jordan be unwrangled as a Negro? Or who do you think the next Negro will be that gets unwrangled from the Democratic Party and says what they actually think about Donald Trump? It just cracks me up. All these athletes, I know how they feel about women. I know how they feel about promiscuous sex. I know how again, all the rappers used to love Donald Trump. I just when will the cosplay stop and everybody just move into the Lawrence Taylor lane? I can remember early on in 2016, I was just like, I'd be asking my family, I was like, how's Donald Trump any different than Uncle John? And we all loved Uncle John. How's he any different than my father? How's he any different than any of the people that hung out at the Masterpiece Lounge? You think they wouldn't get in a private conversation? Say, yeah, I grabbed him by the, you know what? I was like, my Uncle John, the one that left me his porn collection in his will? Anyway.
Jason,
hop in the comments. Who's getting unwrangled next? Go ahead.
And Jason, one last point. Donald Trump used to win NAACP Lifetime Achievement Awards. He used to be honored, be up there with Jesse Jackson. So what changed? What really changed?
Yeah, and Jesse Jackson's remember he had a little stray baby. I made a spoof song about that when he knocked up that young girl. We changed up. Uncle Jimmy did it. It's a great song. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. I thought she was on the pill. Never. Anyway, I'll have to dig that up or ask Uncle Jimmy. It's pretty amazing. Thank you guys for watching. Hop in the comments. The next Negro to get unwrangled. Put the Vegas odds up.